What's up, guys? How are y'all doing today? All right, so lesson 3-7, ordering and comparing fractions. If you need any assistance or help with comparing fractions, look back at lessons 3-6 on comparing fractions and lesson 3-5 on benchmark fractions, because those are going to help us to compare and they're going to also help us to order. All right, so sometimes you may be asked to order specific fractions from smallest to greatest, or even vice versa, greatest to smallest. So what I have down here is I have a number line with my benchmark fractions 0, half, and 1. Those are going to guide me and help me along in order to order these fractions on this one number line. So my 5 fractions down here: 3/4, 2/3, 1/4, 7/8, 6/12. I'm going to use the last couple of lessons to help me figure out how to order these fractions on this number line. So what I want to begin with are any easy one. Do any of those fractions equal 0 something, or maybe half of something, or maybe even the whole? So I'm going to look and see. Now I know that 6 is half of 12, so I can actually put that above the half. So guess what? You have 1 down. So now we have 4 left. So let's look at 3/4. 3/4, I know if I were to break this up into 4 equal pieces, I would have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. So I'm going to put my 3/4 over here. For right now, it doesn't matter exactly where you put it because I just want to put it in between these two benchmark fractions. All right, let's move on to 2/3. So 2/3, if I were to take my fraction strips or my fraction circles and show what it looks like, 2/3 is actually greater than half, because if I had half of 3, it would be 1.5. So 2 is actually a little bit greater. So I'm going to put it a little bit more than half. Okay? It's not quite a whole. Okay? And I'm not worried about these other fractions on top. I know this one's correct. This one, I don't know if this is going to be in the same spot. All right? Next is 1/4. So again, if I had my fraction circles or my fraction strips, 1/4 would only be a little bit. It wouldn't be quite half yet of a full circle. So 1/4, I'm just going to put them down here between the 0 and the half. Next, we have 7/8. So 7/8, that's almost close to 1 whole. Okay? But I don't know if it's greater than 3/4. So here's what I can do. I could take my pencil, okay, let's go with green. Okay, I'm going to take 3/4, and I'm going to use the butterfly method that I learned yesterday. Okay, so I have 3/4 and 7/8. So again, I'm going to draw, cross multiply, cross 4 times 7 is 28. 3 times 8 is 24. So I know that 28 is larger than 24, so that means 7/8 is larger than 3/4. So I can put him right there. So now I just want to double check to make sure that they're in the same straight row. So 1/4 is in between 0 and 1/2. That's correct. Okay, 6/12 is the same as 1/2, so that's correct. 2/3, ooh. Let me check and see if 2/3 is smaller than 3/4. So 2/3, 3/4. So I'm going to do this, cross multiply, butterfly method. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 3 is 9. So which one's larger? 3/4. So 3/4 needs to be closer to the 1 whole than the 2/3. So that one is correct. And we've already figured out that 3/4 and 7/8 are in the right spot. So we are actually done with that number line in those fractions. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at your sheet, okay, and order these fractions. Now, again, I'll keep saying it. Comparing fractions, go back to that lesson if you need to refresh or review exactly what we talked about in that lesson with denominators and numerators. So in this case right here, I need to know which fractions are my smallest and they get to the largest. Okay, and here's my fractions: 4/10, 7/10, 8/10, 2/10, and 1/10. Okay, They're all tenths. So that means I'm easily able to compare them based on their numerators. So the smallest numerator is 1/10. My next one is 2/10. My next one is 4/10. My next one is 7/10. And finally, my last one, or my largest one, is 8/10. So this is just like if I had a pie and I cut it into 10 pieces. My friend only ate one piece, so they had the smallest amount. I ate 8 pieces, so I had the largest amount. Okay. Next, we have different denominators, but the numerators are the same. So as I said before, the smaller the denominator, the larger the fraction piece. So which one is going to be our largest? 1/2 is going to be our largest out of this. And this only works if the numerators are all the same. Okay. Now, what's going to be our smallest? So in order to think the smallest fraction, I had to think of the largest denominator. 1/100. Next smallest would be 1/12. The next smallest after that would be 1/5. Whoops. And then finally, we have 1/4 would be my last one. Okay. Hopefully that helped. If you need more assistance, let us know and we can try to help you. Okay.